the release of a new game Overwatch 2, which became a direct continuation of the original story. We decided to prepare a new material for you, in which we will tell you about 10 differences between the sequel and the first part. The main differences between Overwatch 2 and the first part. Let's take a step-by-step look at all the important points that fans of the series and those who want to join them should know about. Character design. From what we've seen both in the closed beta and all Overwatch 2 promotional material, one thing is very striking: all the subtle but obvious changes made to the standard outfits of almost all the characters in the second part compared to the first game. Visually modified heroes include Tracer, Lucio, Widowmaker, and Genji. For example, Genji's default skin is reminiscent of modern technical clothing, some aspects of Tracer's gear are more defined, and Lucio has a more technical, futuristic outfit this time around. New cards. The release of Overwatch 2 will feature 7 brand new maps. One of the main complaints about Overwatch was the very slow release of new maps, as well as the dubious quality of some locations. Hopefully we can expect much more consistent map quality in Overwatch 2. Release arenas include New York, Toronto, Rome, Rio de Janeiro, Gothenburg, Monte Carlo, India. Free. Perhaps the biggest change from the first game is the fact that, unlike the first Overwatch, Overwatch 2 will be completely free to play for everyone. This includes all content that is available from the start and does not require any fee. The game was originally announced to cost $60, but Blizzard seems to have realized that perhaps the game simply doesn't have enough value to justify a brand new purchase of content that most players expected would be added to Overwatch for free. Many major games have already transitioned or are in the process of transitioning to a free-to-play distribution model. Another well-known franchise that decided to go free is Skate 4, which is why this shooter decided to follow in the footsteps of other franchises. True, there is one clarification: only multiplayer will be free, while you still have to pay to complete the story campaign. Progression and monetization. Due to the fact that the game will be free, Overwatch 2 will have a significantly different progression system compared to the original. In the first game, you received rewards in the form of loot boxes that gave you special skins or coins to buy skins of your choice or golden weapons for your main character. However, Overwatch 2 will switch to a modern battle pass system similar to Fortnite or Apex Legends. As for what kind of content we can expect from the battle pass, it will most likely be cosmetic items and currency, skins, sprays, and coins. New hero, Sohorn. At release, Sohorn will be introduced as the first hero added to Overwatch 2. Sohorn is a DPS character that is somewhat similar to Soldier 76 with a more traditional skill set and easy to understand abilities. Sohorn uses an automatic railgun that has 2 firing modes. The primary fire mode works like any other, but when it is used, the energy of the weapon is charged, which allows you to fire a more powerful secondary shot. She also has an AoE ability that deals chip damage, as well as a force slide that can be cancelled with a high jump. Her skill set provides a fast and fun style of play that seems to be perfect for players who prefer aggressive gameplay. Visual changes to classic maps. One of the more controversial changes in Overwatch 2 from the first game is the change in aesthetics of many classic maps. Maps like Jiang Tower and El Dorado that took place at night are now taking place during the day, and some maps that took place during the day will now get night versions. That's really all they've done to change the classic cards, and while some players prefer the new changes, many are on the other side of the spectrum, wondering was it really necessary. In any case, Blizzard decided that way. 4-player co-op/PvE. Perhaps the biggest change in Overwatch 2 is the addition of PvE, something that was kind of missing from the first game. Overwatch has had a lot of limited-time PvE events in the form of events such as Junkrat's Revenge, anniversary events, and more. However, Overwatch 2 will include a full PvE campaign with real missions with unique encounters and events instead of the basic events that were in the first game. This aspect of the game will be fully developed, as will the multiplayer part, and will include their own unique skill trees for each of the playable heroes, as revealed by Blizzard. Matches 5 vs 5. Instead of the traditional 6 vs 6 that Overwatch players are usually used to, in Overwatch 2 Blizzard decided to reduce the number of participants in matches to 5 vs 5. According to the developers, this is done in order to increase and emphasize the role of each team member, and in combination with the character balance changes in Overwatch 2, we hope this decision pays off. New game modes. Overwatch 2 will also feature several new game modes. So far, only one of them has been announced, pushing. In it, players will have to fight for control of a robot that will push the barricade of one of the teams towards the other. Balance changes. Overwatch 2 will be introducing a ton of new balance changes to most of the current heroes. These changes have already begun in Overwatch with a complete overhaul of some heroes such as Orisa, and it will be interesting to see how some of them work in Overwatch 2. This concludes our review of all the changes in Overwatch 2 compared to the first game. The game has a few interesting changes while others are worrying. In a word, we will see what will come out of all this.